o'clock here on Racespot TV and iRacing Live. Welcome back to season number many of the UK&I Monday Night Skippys. It is season 1 of 2017. We are here, it's December, it's still 2016, but it makes sense in somebody else's mind, not mine apparently. But we are here at Okayama for the very first round of the season. Qualifying is underway at the moment. Rachel Wyford, joined as always by Linus Brostrom and Connery Maddock, although, hang on, Connery's looking a lot more Yorkshire today. I think it could be a guest appearance by Paul Smith. Paul.
Hello.
Paul, Okayama, Skip Barber cars, go.
Yeah, Okayama, tricky track. It's got the famous Japanese tarmac as well, so not the greatest of grip, so should be some plenty of action. Lots of overtaking opportunities as well, so should be good in the Skip Barber with the draft as well.
It certainly should be, and of course Okayama, one of our favourites to come racing here in the Skip Barber car, and it seems to be the way for a lot of people. We have 60 cars, a full grid here tonight for the first round of the season, which is very good news for the series kicking off. It's, well, umpteenth season. It's been going for as long as I've been in iRacing and part of the UK&I club, which is 4 years. So this series is still going strong on Monday nights, and we are bringing it, as always, here on Racespot TV. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. And right now, qualifying, very tight.
Yeah, it's very tight in here, and it's always been tight around here as qualifying, even back to when I raced in this league about 5 years ago, so that was when I was a very incompetent driver. Now I'm just an incompetent driver, but these guys, you know, it's a tricky little car to master. You know, you can pick it up, but then to actually get the best out of it, it's very difficult to do. Less than 30 seconds left in qualifying, and yeah, these guys, you look at how close this field is as well, when there's only half a second covering the first 13 cars, so it just shows how tight this qualifying is, and with 60 cars on the grid, it's going to be just manic going down to turn 1.
Well, I've just had a quick look at the times, Paul, and our top 20 are covered by 1 second. Top 20 within a second. No, ladies and gentlemen, this is not oval racing. This is road course racing. Yeah, 20 cars within 1 second. This is incredible. The last few moments are winding down, of course, while the final laps go in. Checkered flag is out, so these will be the final laps, however. But it is now going to be ready to head to the grid in very short order. But, of course, this is the last round before Christmas, so Merry Christmas, everybody, and whichever and/or festival you celebrate. It is going to be a fantastic time of year, of course, and I'm sure whoever ends up on pole, and it's looking like for UK&I at the moment, will have the sleigh bells jingling from his car. I do want to take this opportunity to apologise. Yes, I do sound nasal. I have whatever bug decided to infect me this year. It's typical, isn't it, Paul, for this time of year?
Yeah, typical for us in the UK to get the old colds and other illnesses. So far, glad I haven't had the norovirus like I have every year, but touch wood, so far I've not got that. But yeah, it's going to be tricky for us on commentaries with people not sounding well.
Is that Paul? Is that a specifically Yorkshire thing? Oh, I'm sick again. Not a nora year.
Not a nora year. Yeah, I don't want norovirus. I've had it pretty much every year for the last 10 years, so it's a good way of losing weight. That's one thing about that.
Which is unusual for Christmas. But anyway, we shall move on, of course, as we're going to head to your starting grid now with a very festive feel. On pole for today's race will be Fahim Antonides with a time of 1 minute 43.910. Starting in second place, LJ Garnett alongside him. Behind them, Mick Watson back for season 1 of 2017 alongside Mark Turner. In row 3 is his accomplice, Brian J. Holmes and Andrew S. Leach. In row number 4, it is Ryan Walker and Chris Higgs, and Tom Ward and Wojciech Savidovic in row number 5. Great to see Woj returning to the series. The rest of those results up on your screen as we will endeavour to fit as many of the 60 cars through. I think we might have Linus Brostrom back. Linus, it's the festive special. It's Monday Night Skippys. We have 60 cars, and we're here in Okayama. Your thoughts?
It's going to be an amazing start to the season, I hope, and with a full grid of 60 cars, I'd say there is going to be a start crash in this one. Like It usually isn't, but today I'm going to say there's going to be one. But overall, I think we're going to have a great race, a lot of passing all the way through, and it's time to head down to the grid, I think.
Well, it's a good job we just finished doing the grid. Maybe keep up occasionally, but we'll digress from that and head back towards the front of your field. And tonight, Ayres and Garnet going to be a very exciting front row for this one, but Brian Holmes and Mick Watson, that'll be a tricky little pairing. I'm sure someone will manage to find their way through. We've had a lot of progression last season. Who will be the big gains this season now? Who will have come forward? Who will stay towards the front? What drivers are returning to the series that will stay? Likes of Wojciech Savinovic returning is a very big name. We'll keep our eyes on him and how well he does. Adrian Bidwell qualified 18th. Steve Hefford in 17th. Some big names moving there. Back towards the front of the field. Also, British touring cars driver, I should say, Ashley Sutton back on the grid. So hopefully he can finish this time. That'll be a big improvement for him. Of course, 60 cars lining up now, ready to go. The clock is counting down, and we have little under 60 seconds remaining. And yes, you're not being deceived by your eyes, folks. That is not the gold Ford Mustang you're used to seeing in Pit Road. That is the return of the iRacing.com face-first safety car livery, but now on a roof. Hopefully none of these cars will end up on their roofs, Paul, like Linus predicted in Turn 1.
I think we will see some, especially if Ashley Sutton's racing tonight. That's pretty much a given. But you've got the back of the grid starting around the final corner. That's just telling you how large this grid is. So going to be epic racing, seeing these guys going down to the first corner, and those guys at the back of the grid having to basically crane the necks round the corner just to see the lights.
They certainly are. And speaking of lights, the lights will be going on the iRacing gantry. The engines will rev for the start of 2017 Season 1, and we're green flag here at Okayama. Green flag is out and we're racing. Fundamentals with a great start at the front. LJ Garnett getting a good run as well. Mick Watson moving forwards. He's locked himself into third place. Looking at the inside there is Mark Turner. Not going to have a chance there. Rally outside looks. Brian Holmes drops back as they're moving forwards. Comes Ryan Walker. Makes up a position there on Andrew Leach. Ryan Walker getting a good run out of that one. We'll have a look back at the first corner. Any incidents so far? Things looking very... Oh no, Chris Stokes is a problem, we think. But otherwise, 2 and 3 wide further down the pack. Linus is very busy in the rear.
Yeah, it's a very clean start so far, though we had 2 cars that were very slow getting going on the start, and we had some contact on the straight. But overall, it's a really, really clean start, and they proved me wrong once again.
They may well have done, as we'll keep our eyes on what's going on at the moment with the large grid. We have to keep this one moving. We'll look towards turn 5, the big braking zone for the hairpin. There's a swarm of cars heading down towards that 180-degree corner now. Fundamentals at the lead. As up the inside, oh, goes Tom Ward into the side of Ryan Walker. That's a big crash. That's right towards the front of our field there. Walker nowhere to go as Ward comes up the inside. Try to get a replay for you of that one in just a second. But right into the side. Everyone seems to get away with it just about. Collection with the 23, Chris Higgs. And Tom Ward starting off his season like he ended last season, not in great shapes, unfortunately. Antonides with a secure lead now over LJ Garnett in second place. LJ Garnett holding on there in that Radicals Alliance Steel Series machine. Mick Watson back in third place. Mark Tedder in fourth with Brian Holmes in fifth at the moment. Looking back down your order. Breaking down some of these packs we've got developing actually. Looking towards the bottom end of your top 15, Lee, that's what we see.
Just a lot of side-by-side racing, people changing places all the time, and it's anyone's race at the moment, and I'm pretty sure things are going to happen, so it's pretty hard to say who's where, who's going to be able to do what, but... And it's hard to know where to look, because they're racing all over the track at the moment.
I can tell you, looking through the field, Ashley Sutton has already made it up to 16th, so he's moving through the field quite nicely, along with a few others as well. Wojciech Savinovic, 9th place, though. He's pretty much in a gap on his own, 1.2 seconds behind Chris Higgs, so he's got 2 behind Stuart Adcock and John Edwards going side by side into air.
What we're going to look at right now is actually the 48 of Nick McCarron. He's fighting right now with Stephen R. Smith and Simon Maltby there. It's currently Stephen R. Smith and McCarron who are fighting side by side. That's Elif Stevens from coming from behind as well. Kip Stevens there. He is moving forwards as this pack here, this is down in 32nd position, Paul. But they're still going at this one hard.
Yeah, certainly going to go hard. You've just got to fight for every position. You've got in a race this length, you've got to try and get these early positions. The field's such the size as well, so get the early positions out of the way, and then you can just slowly eke your way forward through the rest of the race. But it's going to be tough going. So many cars. Got the widest of tracks here as well. So you look at how close McCarran and Kip seems. In fact, McCarran moving over to the left there. So obviously a little bit of a slowdown penalty for him there. So he's dropping down the order.
Just in a retirement from Ashley Sutton, I think. He pulled off to the side in the short shoot. Some minor suspension damage. I think it's cost him his position there. That car's been pulled off to the side. He will not be taking any further part in the racing, I believe. Car still sitting on pit road, so that'll be the end for him. And so it's still at the front. LJ Garnett in second place. Behind them, Watson, Turner, Holmes. No change so far. Andrew S. Leach there as well. Tom Ward. Clearly some damage from that contact, Linus, with, I believe, the car of... That was Mark Turner. Oh no, so it was Ryan Walker, actually, I apologise. Maybe some damage because he's not catching. In fact, he's dropped back from your lead group. He's down in 7th. He's dropping time. Just been passed by Chris Higgs there. Tom Ward not in good shape.
No, it looks like he's got plenty of damage to the front of that car, and he's actually missing his nose cone as well, or the wing on the nose cone. And that's really going to hurt him on a track like this, where you really need the downforce to get your speed through the turns. But he'll be looking to stay in the draft going down the straightaway, and he's going to be able to keep up. I don't think he's going to have a good race from here. He might actually drop out of the top 10 fairly soon.
Could well indeed. Have a look at some position gains. Of course, Aaron Gearing up from 51st to 34th. Big gains from him. Ian Robinson as well. Barry West, all of them moving up from the 40s. Got some big drops, leading him down from 26th down to 35th. 52nd to 36th. That's Paul D. Third. He's moving up as well. Definitely seeing big momentum going on there. Some other drivers moving forward as well. Troy Goatley up from 46th to 28th. So lots of guys moving forwards. But look at Wojciech Savinovic. He's in a group here. He's actually caught Tom Ward and Chris Higgs there, Paul. Looks like Woj could be on a charge.
He certainly could be here. He's certainly lining them up. He's being patient, which is what Wodge is known for some of the time. Sometimes he just wants to get past people and makes his way through. There's Ashley Blake Hood's in the pits now as well, and he's been in the pits for a wee while there, Ashley, so he's struggling there. Tom Ward looking to the inside, but as I say, with that front end damage, with no front wing there, he's going to be struggling for grip going into these braking zones or through the cut turn there. And Wojciech Savinovic, you've got to think it's a matter of time before he tries to make the move.
Of course, he can't afford to take too long, Linus. He's 5 seconds back from your leaders right now, but he is catching very quickly. Last time by 143.7 for him. For the leader, it was a 144.1, so he is gaining. He needs to deal with Tom Ward here and Chris Higgs very quickly. But this is Wojciech Savinovic. This is a car we've not seen on track in a long time, but one that is synonymous with running at the front. Quick look at the lead, actually, as Linus doesn't seem to be here. That is side by side with Garnett and Antonides. Would these be two of our championship favourites running through this season? Garnett very strong last season, of course, finished in second place. Antonides down the order from where he used to finish, but has also a champion in the past. So could be looking at two of our main protagonists already. But a strong running from Mick Watson as well. He's back running in the series this season. He's up there in very close third. It's not 5 leaders right on top of each other at the moment.
Yeah, it's a big group of 5 cars here, and Garnett has been working on Antonides for over a lap and a half, and they've been side by side several times, but he just can't get the last bit that he needs to get in the lead. And looks like he's going to try and set up a pass here again down the straightaway, see if he can get up next to Antonides, who gets a better exit.
Unfortunately, not going to be enough for them, as Antonides will hold the lead for now, running down the front stretch towards first corner. Yep, that's actually what it's called. Literally first corner. They come out of last corner and down the front stretch into first corner. The Japanese, Paul, very original with their track corner namings.
Yeah, it's very similar to sort of the American namings of corners, i.e. turn 1, turn 2, etc. But it's a really good battle as this. You've got Andrew Leach just gaining on the back of this pack of 5 at the front here, so he's trying to tag on to the back of them. Wojciech Savinovic, by the way, up to 7th place now. He's got past Will Higgs and Ward here, so good work from Wojciech, but 2.5 seconds behind this group.
Paul, sorry, going to have to quickly stop you there, as Garnett's going to have a look to the outside of Antonides and a run towards turn number 5 now. 771 car looking to the outside. We'll have a good overlap here on the 42, heading into that 5th corner. Someone's going to look 3 wide. Oh, Mark Watson. I was going to have a quick look there. He looked like he might try and take the opportunity for a late break, but he does not indeed. Antonides just about defends his spot there, but the Vultures are circling, Paul.
Yeah, they certainly are, and Antonides doing a good job so far of holding on to that position. Garnett, though, he's trying everything. He's got a wee while to go yet in this race. It is, of course, a 14-lap race here, so he wants to be starting making moves now. As I say, we're on lap 5 at the moment, so these guys, they're in a pack here, and they're going to try and make the moves. Forward is Watson. At the moment, he's just going to sit back and maybe try and get the better run out of this final turn. Watson and also Garnett as well, trying to get the better turn out of that final one and down the straight there.
Certainly is, of course. Have a quick look here at Stuart Adcock, the 52 car. Adcock is one of those protagonists Linus will be looking at this season. He is always a favourite. Right now, running in 10th, was qualified in 11th place. Not moving forwards as fast as we would guess. Behind Tom Ward now, he's caught them. He's caught Chris Higgs as well. Can he go after Wojciech Savinovic? And is he likely to be one of our contenders based on this performance?
Well, we've seen before what happens towards the end. A lot of the leaders tend to fall out, but it looks like his car is a bit of damage, which could be the reason why he's still only down in P10. But if he can get his pace up just slightly, I think he's going to be able to work his way up and potentially finish in the top 5.
Have a quick look back now. The number 11 car, that is Kip Stevens. He's catching Barry West and Lee Dima just up ahead of him. This is for 28th position, but he's up from 41st. So some big position gains there for Kip Stevens in, once again, what I can only describe as I vomit with wheels. But it's his choice, we can't criticise his artistic integrity, Paul, as much as we might want to. That car is certainly burning my retinas. But he is catching the Epicure banana machine of Barry West, and we could be looking at a pass.
Did you say artistic integrity? Okay, that's a new one for that. But yeah, he's certainly been gaining a little bit on Barry, but at the moment still 1.1 seconds behind, so not quite close enough to make any moves yet, but he is gaining there. In fact, no, he's about half a second behind. My eyes deceive me, as they usually do. Still, it's pretty close battling all the way through the field. Everyone's in sort of battle packs at the moment in this field, so we've still got a good, let's see here, a good sort of 46 cars still rotating around the track, so that's pretty good. Although Bill Fraser has just gone, he's into pits at the moment, and I think he's the latest retirement from this race.
He certainly is. We've lost Nathan Davies as well, and Stuart Mathers, as well as Ashley Blake Hood, and of course we have lost Ashley Sutton. Cesare Rizzo also out, Neil Costin, Rob Marshall, John Preen, Laura Bond, and David Yamamoto. Jake Foster, I believe, as well, is a retirement. Nick McCarran, also Stephen B. Smith, Stuart Mathers, and Philip Blake. That's quite a few, guys. That's 13 cars so far we have out of 60, but that's surprisingly few considering the size of this grid. We'll have a look forwards. Ryan Walker, who was involved, he's at number 15 car. He was involved in that first lap incident with a Tom Ward. His car not looking terrible. He's been in for repairs, we believe, running down in 30th position. Not where he would want to be after qualifying in 7th place. Certainly not the way to start his points battle. But he's gaining his way back towards the front. We'll have a look towards the very front of your field now. And it's tight at the top. Antonides and Garnett were side by side coming through turn number 6. Turn 7. Through the short run onto a little backstretch here. And it's Antonides leading still. Doing a fantastic job here. Holding off Garnett. We are, of course, on lap 7 of 14. Halfway through this race. And this front pack, Paul, is looking identical to the start of the race. But we're catching back markers now. This track is hard to pass. And we have a train of 5 cars. 6 cars even at the lead. We're starting to pick up those back markers.
Yeah, and the thing is, these two battling at the front, Garnett and Antonides, really slowing up, so bringing these other cars into this battle. Garnet was all tried to make a move around the outside after the long straight after into the hairpin, but wasn't able to make the move stick, and Mick Watson was trying his best to get his nose in there to try and get past Garnet, but not able to do it this time. Garnet climbing all over the curbs there in turn 1. So really, he's attacking this track. He's really trying his best to get the position from Antoniadis, but at the moment, brilliant job so far in the lead for Antoniadis.
We've got another group back here, Linus, with Tim Adcock, Clark Williams, Robert Plumley and Steve Hefford here. What's going on?
Well, they're pretty much in a train as well. It's the front of that train we go Hefford and Plumley, who are battling a little bit, but the other two are kind of just struggling to keep up. But Plumley is making a move again on Hefford. Trying anyway, he can't get up next to him. He's going to try and get the draft down straight into the hairpin, but these guys have settled down over the last about half a lap. Plumley is making a move though, up the inside.
Robert Plumley goes for the move. He's up the inside there of Steve Hefford. Secure little pass. Well, no, not yet. He has the inside line there for turn 5. The hairpin does just what he needs. Tim Adcock will also follow through and get past Clark Williams, so that's a position gain for both of those drivers. See what Plumley can do to secure this spot over Hefford as he runs through turn 7. Bit of a mistake there by Robert Plumley as Hefford will go to the inside. Puts his nose in the inside line, has the inside run for the corner. Can he hold the line? He does just have enough clearance to pull back across, but no, he'll do it. He secures the spot. Take it now towards the penultimate corner. Fast right-hander. Traffic ahead of them. Traffic pulls to the inside. No problems for these guys. As Hefford will defend his position, having fought off that strong attack there by Robert Plumley.
That was actually Chris Higgs pulling into the pits from P8, so that's going to move all of these guys up one spot and put almost all of them in the top 10.
It certainly is. We'll have a look back at the front of your field now. Starting to hit traffic properly here is Antoniadis leading the way from LJ Garnett with Mick Watson, Mark Turner, Brian Holmes and Andrew Leach here. Wojciech Savinovic is starting to catch this group, but it is looking pretty difficult at the moment. It's about 3.8 seconds at the moment, I'm thinking, Paul. It's getting closer. If they battle harder now towards the end, Savinovic could involve himself in this.
He could involve himself in it, but I mean, it's a bit of a tall order for him to catch up that sort of gap, as we've still got battle in the front, although Garnett just hanging off of the throttle there for the time being in towards the hairpin, so he's deciding not to go for it into that hairpin, so a lot of bit of tactics at play maybe from Garnett, yeah, just hanging back, not going for any moves around the outside, runs it over the grass and the dirt on the exit of that double left-hander there over the curb. You can just see how much they're having to work these cars, and as you say, catching up to back markers now. So this is where the likes of Anthony Dickens and also Alan Patterson, who were involved. Alan Patterson was actually one of the people who was stopped on the start and finish straight right at the start. So definitely these guys need to work their way through these back markers, and pretty sharpish as well.
They certainly do. Retirements from Thomas DJ Coombe and Ben Daniels also at the moment, as we keep our eyes on this lead battle. And that is for Antoniadis, along with LJ Garnett, Mick Watson, Mark Turner, Brian Holmes, Andrew Leach. Right now they're catching traffic. That traffic is providing some minor draft actually to Antoniadis here, Paul. This can actually help him defend that lead over Garnett. Garnett, of course, his biggest opportunity for a pass is on the front stretch or the run down towards turn 5, the hairpin. So with cars for Antoniadis to draft, that does help your leader.
It certainly does help the leader. It will affect the car behind him as well, though, just ever so slightly. So getting a double draft could be helpful. And he's looking to the outside. Garnett. He's trying to get the better run through this right-hand hairpin uphill here as well. And those guys, he's just trying to carry as much speed as he possibly can through that hairpin as they go onto this straight now and heading towards the hairpin. And that marker is actually giving a bit of draft there to Garnett, and maybe he can make a move going into the hairpin here around the outside. He's looking, but he's hanging back again. He's deciding against it, and that back marker now just moving over to the left-hand side, and think, do you know what? I think that's the best thing he could do there to let all these guys through, because they're coming through whether he likes it or not.
Oh, they certainly are, Paul, as things are getting very busy now towards the front. Lap number 10 of 14, and the clock is winding down. Right now, it's the battle between Antoniadis and Garnett. We're keeping our eyes on with Watson and Turner just waiting in the wings here, not really pushing LJ Garnett, trying to find opportunities here to press the attack on Antonides. Of course, we don't really think of turn number 3, Paul, as a hairpin. It's such a wide, long corner, but you are right, it's 180 degrees, it's uphill, it's a difficult corner, and the entire run towards turn 5 hinges on that.
Certainly does. It's oh, look at how close Garnett's getting now. He's got a fantastic way through into that final corner. It's whether he can carry that through the final corner. He's using the draft, he's using the slipstream. Is he going to look to the outside? He is, but really you don't want to be on the outside going into turn 1 for making a move stick. But if he can hold it around the outside, he can get the inside for the next corner, but he doesn't, so he'll have to slot in. Will he? No, he's still side by side. Still going, he's still trying for that lead. He's got the inside for this next corner, but now the next 2 corners are right-handers, and Antonides is going to hold on to that lead, I do feel.
That was the most tenuous, nail-clinging round the outside I've ever seen, Paul. That was absolutely fantastic from Garnett. Just keeping his nose cone overlapping with Antonides, just enough for Antonides to doubt his clearance. But it nearly worked. So very close there by LJ Garnett, who swings to the outside again on the approach towards turn number 5. If he can pinch Antonides down as he's trying, he might have an opportunity, but no, he pulls back to the left for the fastest line. Can he hang the outside here? You can do it on turn 5. He keeps an overhang. Can he keep it? He just loses out. That was so nearly, once again, a chance for the lead change. LJ Garnett looking aggressive at the moment, Linus.
Yeah, he's doing everything he can not to get in the lead here, but Fahim Antonides knows exactly what he needs to do. As Garnett looks at the outside again, he's going to try and get the crossover, but Fahim keeps to the curb. There's no room for Garnett to go, but he will have to be careful because Watson is all over the back of him now, and Turner is coming as well, so one little mistake from Garnett and that can put him out of the top 5.
Oh, incident for the 21 car. Well, not incident per se, but that's Tim Adcock, who had a slowdown, been passed by 2 cars now. As round the outside of him will go Clark Williams and I believe also Neil Bamber involved in this fight too. We have Stefan Nobis as well. It's packed down towards the bottom end of your top 20 as they're trying to fight here. Robert Plumley ahead of them with Steve Hefford involved in this one, but Wojciech Sredovic, Paul, that gap's down to 2 seconds. He's coming.
Well, he's coming, but look at the front again. This time Garnett trying the cutback on the exit of turn 1. He's still side by side. He's going to have the inside into the hairpin, and he's been working to this. He's been trying it on, and LJ Garnett, if he can just squeeze Antonides onto the outside there, possibly get the run through here, but now Antonides going to be able to get on the power earlier. He's going to carry that speed all the way down the straight. Look at how tight they're going to the side of the track. It's neck and neck between these two, and here comes the rest of the pack behind them now to try and get involved in this lead battle.
Absolutely fantastic racing here. Lap number 12 of 14, and it is on like Donkey Kong, folks, because right now it is LJ Garnett and Fahim Antonides, who Antonides rounding outside in turn number 3, rounding outside in turn number 4 and 5, holds it for the inside line in 6 and regains his lead. Fantastic driving there by that 42 Puma machine as he will get back ahead of the Radical Steel Series car of LJ Garnett, who must be absolutely furious, Linus.
He's still trying, and it was ever so close, but Fahim just shows that he is the better driver, at least according to him, and he shows that he's got experience in this. He knows exactly what he needs to do, and he's not going to give him an inch. And I don't know how Garnett managed to get out on the outside there. I didn't think Antonides was going to give him that room, but he didn't pay the price this time. So
absolutely not. But no, things looking tricky at the moment because look who's coming.
He's blown up.
Oh, he has. LJ Garnett with a blown motor, too long behind Antonides, and we've had our first fatality of the season. A car comes off pit road right between your leaders. LJ Garnett is out. You'll see that on the replay. Blown motor. His car is done. Battle for the lead is over, it seems. Battle for second place is on. Mick Watson now in second place. Mark Turner in third. Potential for podiums have just opened wide, Paul.
I tell you what, that car coming out the pit road has just split up the leader in second place as well. There's 0.8 of a second between them, so Antonides making the most of this gap, trying to make a breakaway, trying to get away from the rest of this group, and he's certainly doing that at the front. But look at this, Watson, Turner, Holmes, all battling away for that now second place for them. It's a middle step of the podium, but they still want it going into this tight right-hander here, and Holmes ends up just running a little bit wide there. Turner making it through, so Turner up into fourth place now, into third place, sorry, with Mick Watson second. He's now, as I say, about 9/10 of a second behind your leader.
I am going to make the comment because it's a new season, Paul, but it does seem as though Watson and Holmes have turned us surrounded. I had to, I'm sorry. We'll go back to the racing, ladies and gentlemen. This Fehima Tenides looks set to win this race now after the destruction of the engine of LJ Garnett. He's dropped right down the order now after gearbox or some sort of mechanical failure. All we know is piston squirted at the back, and the car said no. But this has moved things up now. Watson and Turner battling in podium positions, but it does look as though Brian Holmes might have a chance in this one final lap. Andrew Leach and Wojciech Savinovich back involved in the front pack now, but not going to be time really for them to get into podium spots, Linus. What else is happening in this field? Any big fights?
There is a few. It's the one we were watching earlier with Plumley and his friends. They've been battling all the way through this race, and Plumley currently in 11th, actually 10th now with that retirement.
It certainly is, and that'll be a big
battle is from
move
10th
forwards.
down to 15th. But 6 cars involved, and Plumley's doing everything he can. He's really struggling, but Williams is currently winning that battle.
Yep, Clark Williams in 10th place with Steve Hefford in 11th, Robert Plumley, Neil Bamber, Tim Adcock and Stefan Nobis. We'll keep our eyes on that. Stuart Adcock up in 8th place. Hasn't managed to get past Tom Ward, which is surprising considering Ward has damage. We'll look back on the run towards turn number 5 for your leaders now as Watson, Turner, Holmes. These are for potential podium spots. Do we have any challenges for this season? As, oh, very close there. Mick Watson getting to the back of Fehima Tenides. A lunge in turn number 5. No one really looking like they might take this opportunity to make a pass. This front pack looking content to stay in position at this stage of the race. They'd rather have early points this season than make things too dramatic. We'll keep our eyes there on what's going on with this second pack as it looks as though Plumley looking towards the outside of Hefford. Has looked towards the inside again, hasn't opportunity anymore yet. 147 of Plumley, that Pennzoil machine looking around the Castrol car, so it's going to be very oily no matter what goes wrong here. No opportunity as we're heading towards the final corners. And out of the final corner, the number 42 car of Fehima Tenides will kick off 2017 Season 1 by winning at Okayama. Mick Watson will pick up second place as Antonides loses the car and circles across the track. Mark Turner will come home in third place. Fourth place, Brian Holmes and Andrew S. Leach in fifth. No change of position in the fight with Plumley, Williams, Hefford and friends. Nobody really changed positions as it seems everybody wants to go completely stir crazy towards the end of the track as we'll run down your finishing order. Seems as though turn number 1 is optional after you finish. Well, Linus, a very exciting race, certainly one that will set the tone for 2017 season number 1, but some big movers and some old movers not moving as fast as we thought.
Yeah, it was a really good race, and at the front we see the same people that we kind of expected for him, Antonides, with the lead, but some surprising moves as well, and I thought actually Ashley Sutton was going to have a better race than he did, but early incident in a lot of traffic, there's nothing you can do about that. But a lot of battles, and this is going to be an amazing season, I think, just like all the others.
It certainly is, and well, for your first time on this, or first time recently on this, Paul, and what was undoubtedly an exciting, quite busy race, how was it for you?
I'll tell you what, it was great driving from Antonides at the front there to hold off for so long, and even when coming under great pressure from behind, that LJ Garnett just couldn't quite get the job done. Ended up with many mechanical things flying out of the engine, but certainly great racing at the front, great racing all the way through the field, and to be honest, not as many incidents as I thought there might be in such a big field like this. Of course, 60 cars took to the start, not quite that many made it to the end though.
They certainly did not. And we are going to go to the results now and run through your final finishing positions. Fehima Tenides comes home with a victory in round number 1, with Mick Watson in second and Mark Turner in third. Brian J. Holmes comes home in fourth place with Andrew S. Leach in 5th. Wojciech Savinovich finishes up in 6th place. Stuart Adcock, John Edwards, Clark Williams and Tom Ward in 10th. The rest of those results up on your screen as we listen to our not very Christmassy music, Hugo. Hint, hint. We are going to get a chance to chat to Ryan Walker, who had a considerably worse race than he was hoping for, but managed to claw his way back to finish 22nd. Ryan, tell us what happened in the first lap.
Got off to a pretty decent start, and then basically I was keeping out of trouble. And heading up to the hairpin, I lifted early a little bit just so I didn't hit any of the cars in front of me. And then for some reason, Tom Ward just flies out of nowhere and just half spins me in the hairpin, and just basically I get some damage and he gets off scot free, which is pretty typical.
Unfortunate end to your race, and certainly not, shall we say, the festive present we were expecting for you, but we're going to be asking this of all our guests today. Just let us know, what would you wish for Christmas?
Some new sim racing gear, I guess.
What would have been appropriate, Ryan, just as a quick, suggestion? Well, just a moment of, could have said a podium or the win. But sim racing gear is also a good answer, so we'll take that one for
Podium
you.
or a win, but sim racing gear will do.
Yeah, if you're quick, you could have said, the podium. But we'll take the sim racing gear. We'll take that. So thank you very much for joining us, Ryan. Of course, you've asked Santa. Paul Smith, of course, playing Santa for today's moment. As we do have your race winner joining us now, Fahim Antonides. Fahim, 2017 Season 1 has kicked off in just the right way.
Just about, didn't it? I had to take a long breather before coming on to speak to you, because that was probably it was the hardest fought, it was the hardest fought race I've ever had. So I'm glad actually, I'm not glad it ended the way it did, because I would have liked to have seen LJ fight me to the end, and unfortunately his engine blew, and that got me really worried. So I started nursing my engine by short shifting and lifting and coasting for the last 2-3 laps. Just to get over the line, but I was very relieved when I did.
Of course, it does seem as though the common Skippy curse struck LJ Garnett of being in your draft for too long, more than it being a gearbox stress issue. So a good victory for you, but it was very close for a lot of laps. You did dominate the race to an extent, but you were challenged towards the end by Garnett. Did you think you could have held on if his car held to the end?
I think so, because I was holding on throughout most of the race. I mean, it wasn't just towards the end. He was challenging me pretty much from the get-go, and it got quite intense a couple of laps before his engine went. And I don't know whether you saw in the coverage, we were going side by side.
We completely ignored that bit. We didn't bother.
We went side by side for quite a bit of the lap, but he tried to take me on the outside of the hairpin several times, and I managed to hang in. Yet he wrong-footed me to the point where he ended up being on the inside of the hairpin, and I had to go on the outside. But somehow, by sheer will, I think I managed to pull off the move that he was trying to on me all along, and it stuck for me. So I managed to retake the lead. So I reckon I was determined enough to see him off if he tried again. But he gave me a really, really hard race, harder than I've ever had with anyone. I raced Dakota Fripp in the official series yesterday, and he pushed me to the limit, but not as much as LJ did.
Well, a fantastic result nonetheless for him, and what a way to start this season. We are going to ask you, as it's the festive time of year, to come and sit here on Paul Smith's knee. What would you like Father Christmas to bring you?
Lots of love and happiness. Nothing material.
That is such a nice answer. That is such a lovely answer for him, and thank you for joining us, and congratulations once again.
Thank you very much. Take care.
We are joined now by 4th place finisher Brian J. Holmes. Brian, a tough race with the front pack. Is this an omen of things to come this season?
Let's hope so, Rachel. Let's really do hope so. That's one of the toughest races I've ever had, to be honest. We're just trying to stick with the guys in front. I mean, watching LJ, Fahim and Mick go for it in front of us, as me, Mark and Andrew just stood back and watched, basically as crazy cats got at it.
They certainly did, of course, and a very quiet race for you in the grand scheme of things, but obviously your pace has much improved over the last couple of seasons. Could this be the season where you challenge for at least a top 5 points finish?
I was hoping for a top 10, to be honest. I'm not finishing in the top 10 in the first 2 seasons I've done, so if I can pull off a top 10 finish, I'll be very happy. But like I said, in the race, it's just trying to keep with them guys is enough for me at the minute, so I'm happy to finish in 4th place. Unlucky for LJ with a bone engine, very unlucky.
It certainly was, and we are going to ask you the same thing we've asked everybody else. Have a sit on Papa Smith's lap. We are going to keep doing this one. Sorry, Paul. What would you like for Christmas?
Pretty much same thing.
That's a
Lots of
cop-out. Give me a real
happiness.
answer.
No, it's the same. I've got 3
No,
young kids and
that's a
stuff,
cop-out.
so that
I want
is,
an answer.
as long as they're happy at Christmas, I'm happy, so it's all good.
This is making me feel very material and very, very guilty. Only joking. No, I'm not. Thank you for joining us, Brian, and, well, hopefully this will be a start to the season that will continue.
Thank you very much, Rachel. Cheers for
And coming up next, we have the Banana Boys. We have Paul Smith and Barry West. No, not Paul Smith. Paul Smith's already here.
Yeah,
He's been
hello.
here a while. We're joined by Paul Thurston and Barry West.
I can be
We'll
Paul
start
Smith if
with
you like.
you,
I'm not fussy.
We'll come to that later, but we'll start with Barry West first. Barry, you came home today in 25th. You started on 40th.
40th.
So
yeah.
you've definitely climbed forwards a bit. Busy race.
It was a really good race, actually. It was hard work with the high temperatures, but I just decided to give people the benefit of the doubt and let them sort themselves out. And then me and Kip Stevens were having a really good race, and we were trying to catch up Lee Deemer in front of us, which we did the last lap, and then Ryan caught us up. And I think Lee went for somebody at the hairpin, locked his brakes, caught somebody, and then I went round the outside, and he took me wide, and we got tangled up. And then I think Ryan chose the right way. He went to the inside, and yeah, so I could have finished 22nd, but it was good fun. Don't mind that on the last lap. But I think Ryan was on a bit of a mission because I think he got taken out by Tom right at the beginning. Then right at the last corner, I had Adrian Bidwell caught me up because we'd had it coming together. The corner before that, he tried to get around the inside. His wheel caught me side pod, and then because of the incident with Lee, he caught me up on the last corner. So the last corner, we're neck and neck round there, and I just pipped him to the line. But yeah, it was really good fun. Really good fun. I need a cold shower now.
Fantastic one from you. Just do a quick poll. What would you ask for from Father Christmas?
For me,
Do not say love and happiness, or I swear to enter deity here, there will be problems.
I'm getting some HE Pros, hopefully, if you'll let me.
That's a proper sim racer answer, folks. Just saying. HE Pro pedals, really, really good kit.
Thanks.
Thank you for joining us, Barry.
Cheers, Rachel.
And Paul, for our every week chat, should we call it our fireside chat with President Paul from this point forwards?
To quote my dad from his snooker days, that was a lot of work for 3 points.
It certainly was, but you do start the season with points in one of our biggest grids in recent times. Started in 30th position, you finished in 18th, so that's 12 spots climbed in what was insanely tough competition. You do say it's a lot of work for 3 points, but you seem to be having fun.
Hey, you're good with maths, aren't you? Yeah, that was brilliant fun. I mean, I ended up, I was in so many little battles throughout that. I just managed to avoid be in the right place at the right time. Although I'm quite good, Okayama I quite like, because there is space to go around people, and if you're a bit smart, then you can actually be in the right place. And that got me a few places. But at the end there, I was in an absolutely superb little battle with Philip Urquhart and Mark O'Connell. And we were just all on the same pace all the way, and we were just all inches away from each other, but nobody hitting each other. I tell you what, though, as I was going around, I was thinking to myself, how are you deciding which cars to cover in this grid?
Very difficult. Is how I'll say. We picked them by random. I just click on a random car. If something's happening, then we talk about it. No, we do have, of course, timing software. We can see exactly what's going on. Just actually to answer this one for the viewers, we do see the timing. We can see how close cars are together, and we look at those gaps. And if we see a really close gap, we'll go have a look at those cars, and we can normally find some great battles throughout your grid. So that's actually the way we find out what's going on.
Well, I could do with that software actually sometimes, because
Not sure you're allowed
finding
it
a way
in
through that. No, probably not. Actually, it'll probably fall on my head. Tear offs. We had to pull a tear off every 4 laps. It was so you could actually see. It was that was a bit mad. That's the biggest grid I've been in, I believe.
It's
There
the
were
biggest anybody
60.
could be in, because 60 is the upper limit at the moment.
Yeah, but well, Ford didn't start, so I don't count them.
Fair enough. Okay, well, Paul, we'll end this one with the same question Barry had. What would you like from Father Christmas?
Talent.
Paul Thurston would like talent from Father Christmas. Oh, Paul, you already have bags more than most of us, so we'll have to laugh at that one. But you're certainly a very talented individual in this insanely talented grid of drivers. Thank you very much for joining us. Well, Paul and Linus, it's been a fantastic one, of course. We've had a very, very busy race today, and thank you everybody for watching at home. Don't forget, you can catch us same time next week. Maybe, possibly, Boxing Day. It might be broadcast, we don't know. But if not, we'll definitely be back in time for round number 3 in 2 weeks. So, talk to us soon, and we'll see you later. Good night.
Mm.